Welcome, everyone. It's another episode of Inspiring Stories, and this time we are going to be discussing the gift of vivid visualization and how it has long-term benefits. Cliff, we're excited to hear.
Thank you, April. I would like to take you back when I was a young sales rep. I had just started with the Kohler company, Kohler Plumbing Products, in the Western New York area, the Buffalo, New York area. And I loved working for Kohler. It's a fantastic company, and I was really proud to have the job. And like most companies, when you're in a selling position, they have a national sales meeting once a year. And Kohler had their national sales meetings at Kohler, which is I think it's the only five-diamond resort in the Midwest, and it's just spectacular there. So every year you would get called to Kohler, and the last night of the national sales meeting was typically the awards night, and that was a big night because everybody got dressed up in nice business attire, and they had a formal sit down dinner. And as the dinner went on towards the end, they had a stage, and all the winners of the highest performing of the sales group were brought up onto the stage and got to shake the hands of one of the Kohlers, the owners of the company, and have their picture taken. As I always said, the annals of Kohler's history. And Kohler's I think a 250-year-old company, so it's a very old company. So it was a big honor. And I would sit at my table during that awards dinner, and in Buffalo, there's not a lot of growth. And so the opportunities to be able to lead the nation in any category of selling was very rare there. Yet, I would sit and I would think someday I'm going to walk that stage. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it got to be almost an obsession where I would think about this constantly, and I would go into depth in my mind. I could taste the wine on the table. I knew what suit I was going to wear. I even visualized to the point where things are going to happen that really never happened there. One of them was, I said, when I get called up, I'm going to walk through that and they're going to give me a standing ovation. Well, they didn't give people standing ovations, so I don't even know where that came from. But that was going to be it. So anyways, fast forward a couple years, and Kohler transfers me to Orlando, Florida, where I am today. And Orlando is a booming market. New houses are being sold, being built all the time, and it was just a candy land for me. At that time I was even calling on Disney with another partner of mine there. So, and Disney was booming, building and expanding their parks. So we're ready. Another year passes by, and we're ready to go to national sales meeting. And I knew I had a good year, but I didn't think that I was qualified for any awards because I had been moved up into sort of a management position, and they didn't have awards for that particular thing. So anyways, I'm sitting in the audience on the big night, and they're calling names up to the stage, and all of a sudden they call my name. And as I get up and look around the room, a strange feeling comes to me that I had been there before. Matter of fact, I had been there so many times, and it was rolling out exactly how I had imagined it would. And as I got up, all of a sudden, the rest of the room got up and started giving me a standing ovation, just as I had envisioned it happening. And as I walked through the audience between the tables, they were round banquet tables, and I walked up towards the stage, all the people that I had worked with and helped, they were shaking my hand and giving me pats on the back, saying, "Cliff, you deserve this. You really deserve this." And they also started doing something that was pretty strange, and they started chanting the word Buddha. And as the room standing ovation, and they're chanting Buddha, and the reason they were chanting Buddha was I had named myself the Buddha of Brass. I was selling Kohler faucets, and it was a fun kind of thing to do. And they started chanting it. And as I got on the stage to shake the hand of Mr. Kohler, they're chanting and standing and clapping. And he looks at me and he says, "Cliff, what are they doing?" And I said, they're chanting Buddha. That's what they're chanting. He started laughing. And of course, they took our picture, and, I got to go down in the annals of Kohler's history. And, but the fact is this, visualization is very powerful. I use it all the time with in coaching athletes in high school. I get there, a place where your mind, and you do not need to know how you're going to get there. But I do believe that all that visualization that I was doing had manifested this in my life in some way.
The opportunity to invest in our mind, right? To have the opportunity to make it a visual experience long before it happens is what creates some of our most amazing creations, right? So we invite everyone to share their vivid visualization stories and how it's made an impact. And of course, we'll look forward to seeing you for our next inspiring story. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, April.